Hello and welcome to another episode of the FPL Hangover podcast where we raise the bar and lower the tone on all things FPL related. We are coming to you on the 4th of October. It is episode 151, and if you are wondering where episode 150 is, then all you need to do is check YouTube. We had a bit of a live stream last week to commemorate the episode, so that's up there, but I guess in FPL terms it's as stale as... a baguette by this stage. But if you do want to watch it, there it is. Speaking of fresh bread, I've got the Fresh Prince of Donegal here this evening with me. My podcast partner in crime, Paddy. How'd you get on, my friend?
Hello, it's good to be back, Ger, and it's good to be here with all the listeners and the millions and millions watching on YouTube. Cheers, guys, and apologies for the husky voice. Some might find it sexual, but I am a wee bit croaky today, so just bear with me. I'm on my medicine, though. I have my medicine here.
You're doing the Lord's work, Paddy. You're making it up this evening. But I guess this is what happens when you're flying high. Another decent week for you. You seem happy enough after game week 9's exploits.
Yeah, I'm very happy, Ger. The week went swimmingly. I had the right captaincy, like most people, and I had a Bowen return.
You had multiple Bowen returns.
I had multiple boners.
Bowen. Is that what you call yourselves? The group of Bowen fans at the moment.
That's our club. We're the boners, and sign up.
What are you drinking this evening? I never asked you to start.
I'm on the Kinniger beer. It's the Scraggy Bay.
Scraggy Bay. That goes down well down here in Limerick as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm not on anything we're really talking about, Paddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're on the Moretti.
I'm on the Moretti. I'm doing the zero free thing. I'm trying to do sober October. I feel like I'm going to hit it hard come November. There's an Irish FPL meetup for those who are interested. I'm sure there'll be more links and stuff coming out soon, and we'll get that out there. And
I can't bloody wait for it. Yeah. Can't wait.
That's gonna be a good crack. But that's in November, and then we have a local metal festival here in Limerick at the end of October. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a heavy 2 months, and I feel like the body just can't take it anymore.
Okay, so you're doing like sober October, basically. Just tell the people and don't be a fanny. Yeah.
Except I'm not collecting any money for charity, unfortunately, because
you should.
I know, but then I feel like it would draw too much attention to my functioning alcoholism. So.
Yeah, well, that's a good call. That's a good call.
Let's quickly move on to some FPL Game Week 9 chat. How did it all go for you in the end, Patrick?
Okay, I shall start at the beginning. I got 86 points. This was probably my wildcard team. I think I made one transfer.
So not your wildcard team.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it would have been my wildcard team. Only Isak went and got injured.
Okay.
So I had to move him to Tony, which went brilliant because Isak got 0 points and Tony got 1. So bonus. I had Pope 2 points, but Trippier, the legend, got me 7. That was nice.
Everyone fucking owns it. What are you?
I don't care. It was still nice because not everyone.
You can't laugh. You have Trippier and Pope. You've got to double up.
Yeah, but come on, like he came off before the clean sheet got busted. It could have been worse.
Yeah, but everyone would have suffered the Trippier blow. I only have Trippier, and I feel like I'm allowed to have this as my laughing moment and laugh at you.
All right, okay. Right, maybe then I'm laughing because I'm in a couple of mini leagues with people that don't have them, okay? Fair enough. I know a couple will be listening. Anyway, Perisic was shit.
Okay.
James fucking was... I mean, like I watched James and I think we deserve more every time James plays because he's involved in every single thing that happens with Chelsea. So anyway, I'm glad to have him on my team. Cancelo won, but I don't give a shit because...
Everyone has.
Well, I do give a shit. It would be nicer if United had won the game, or even like, it's just that's shit.
Yeah, are you one of those fantasy managers, like as a United fan, like so? There's the kind of fantasy manager that is, if they're going to get beat 6-0, then I'd rather it was 6-0 and not 6-1. Do you know the kind of way like that? If it was a last minute goal, or do you just like, nah, I'd rather?
No, whenever it comes to the United fantasy football goes in the bin.
Yeah.
I was like, United scored 3 goals. I was delighted they scored 3 goals because it showed me that the players, like, can you imagine if this was the sorry bunch last year, like with the Pogbas and a couple of other wasters, after the first goal, that probably would have been, there wouldn't have been 3 goals. They would have just dropped their heads and it just would have been horrible to
What do you
watch.
mean? United
But
did drop their heads. They conceded.
no, they kept fighting to the end.
Okay, so you're one of those
Fighting.
United fans.
And I'm also going to say that this Man City result, doesn't even like reflect on what this team is doing this season because everyone is going to get shagged by City.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. I think
it's not going to be the end of our season. Like we're still,
yeah.
We're not. We're realistic. We know we're not going to win the league. We're going for the top 4 here.
Well, I mean, you don't like as a FPLer. You're laughing in that match. I mean, whatever about the Cancelo clean sheet loss. You had the De Bruyne and you had your cap Haaland. So
yeah. I mean, like, look, United fan first, but also thinking cap on for FPL. And look, come here. I'm not going to say I'm happy that De Bruyne got me 8. I'm not going to say I'm happy that I got 46 points from my captain Haaland.
You can't even say that with a straight face.
No, I know I can't. I mean, come on, like my team got battered, right? But at least then when I went to bed, I was like, oh well, at least my fantasy team done okay. And that's
it
what got me
eases
through.
the pain. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was able to sleep. So anyway, Martinelli 4 points, and Bowen 14 points, and I hear a lot of people saying, oh, finally Bowen came through. I only had Bowen in my wildcard, so I mean, I only had one.
What do you mean? Yeah, but sure, anyone that has Bowen kind of just jumped on him in like the game week 8. That was where he got his big kind of little cult ownership. I mean, what is his ownership? I'm sure it's fucking tiny. Still,
his ownership is 4.1%.
Yeah, I mean, like that's just a Twitter bubble. But yeah, I think
exactly. That's sort of. But I seen like people that had been on him, and they're like, "Oh, finally!" But I didn't. I got a blank from him last week, and I got rewarded my 14 points. Anyway, that's the strikers. Then Haaland, Mitrovic. That was just kind of depressing, the Mitrovic and Tony. But and Ward got 8 points on my bench, like, which is kind of sickening.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Game week 1 to game week 8, 8 points total, and then game week 9, 8 points. I think I saw that.
I mean, I can't be upset about it because no matter how many times I look at it, yeah, I can be upset. Maybe I should have played Ward.
I just think Pope got very unlucky conceding, like Liverpool.
But I was starting Mitrovic. Yeah. Maybe I should have been like, okay, if I have Mitrovic, let's do this and have Ward in there instead of Pope. If I want Mitrovic to score, like, I mean, I don't think.
I mean, look, we could all play Captain Hindsight.
Okay.
Yeah. But in general, like your team, 86 points. That's
86 points.
That a green arrow?
Yeah, that's a green arrow up 56,000 places. I am now sitting at above you in 262k. 137 places.
Yeah. Okay.
How did you get on, Ger?
Yeah. Let me just clarify your previous comment. We are on the exact same points. I actually caught up with you this week, and we're now level again. So you can fuck off.
No, we're not level.
So we've got 537 points each. We are as in on points.
I'm ahead of
our
you.
overall point score is level. Sorry. But for some reason you have a 6k rank.
Thank you very much.
So
no further questions, Your Honor.
We've come to the conclusion that there are 6,000 copycats.
And then Ross is giving out about there's people copying him. There's people copying us. There's 6,000 people copying us.
I agree. I'm with you.
You know what I mean. Just while we're on the topic, where do you stand on the copycatters?
The copycatters. Okay, so for those who aren't familiar with what's going on at the moment, for in the Twitter world, FPL community, whatever you want to call it, there seems to be a big debate about content creators and the ensuing copycats. And you're asking me, where do I stand on whether it's, what do you mean? Like, where do I stand on?
I mean, what do you think about the whole thing? I mean, like, I think it's shit. Like, why would you copy someone's team?
Well, I mean, like, for a start, like, there's probably loads of people out there with multiple teams. So, like, you probably have your own team. I imagine, like, if you're some 19-year-old that just spends his whole fucking day jerking off, watching, fucking the internet all day long, then I imagine you probably have multiple teams. You have your own real team, then you'll have like a zombie team, then you'll have like I'm just going to copy this guy I watch every fucking 6 hours team. So I mean, like, I guess they don't give a fuck. And I mean, I think a good point that was raised, and I can't remember who said it, but like, this only crops up when like a content creator has an amazing overall rank.
So when they're doing really good,
we do.
So we don't hear about it whenever they're not doing great.
That's the thing. So I mean, like, as I said, we've got 6,000 copycatters right there, Paddy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
you don't see it. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. I think if anything, content creators should try and monetize it. I mean, they do with everything else. They should. We should band together and create some kind of copycat FPL law.
So, do you think, I mean, there is some really big high-profile players out there like Abdul, the General, Andy. We'll say
these are mainstream now, making it into the likes of Sky Sports and shit, which is something I never fucking experienced. Kind of doing this for 10 odd years, 15 years.
Yeah, but not yet.
No, I don't mean me personally. I just mean as a fan of the game, as a player. The fact that this has gone so mainstream that we actually have, giant profiles now who are on the likes of Sky Television. I mean, that's kind of what you were saying. They're like these massive kind of profiles.
Yeah. So these guys, right? That just to add there. Myself and Ger were approached for Sky and stuff, but we said that we would never sell out to our fans. We don't want to have to charge you for this content or anything. We keep it cool. But I mean, these people release their teams before the deadline, or they have paywalls in front of their teams that people can actually pay for to go in and look at. But there is a good few that just post their teams on Twitter, like maybe 5 minutes before the deadline things. And when you are looking through these copycatters, you can see a pattern of the exact transfers made. You know,
that's what makes them copycatters.
So I mean, I know. So do you think that maybe these content creators should just not post their teams before the deadline, or
like when you go on Twitter, Paddy? It's not just content creators posting their team. Everyone. It's a community. That's what the point of some kind of community is. Content creators it's just a weird way to kind of label a bunch of FPL players. It's like, I mean, being a content creator doesn't make you good at fucking FPL.
Yes, exactly.
There's plenty of shit ones. You're just like, anyone can do the content creation bullshit and give it a go. Copycatters, I don't know. I just think, when you have a big giant dirty fridge I don't know why I use fridge metaphors all the time in this show, but I do. If you have a big giant dirty fridge and it's full of cockroaches.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that. It's just an image that...
Me fucking.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't be a copycat.
Yeah.
Play your own game.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a mini league that's got millions of pounds in it. Right.
What if playing your own game is being a fucking copycat?
Who fucking is? Sure, look at all these algorithms and computer AIs. I mean, we could have a different podcast on this, but anyway, I think...
Let me get back to my FPL team. Yeah. You totally sidelined me there and fucking... I didn't get a chance to brag about catching up with you. 93 points on a wild card. So, as I said last week, we did the 150 episode, and I went through my wildcard team on that. And thanks to everyone to give in a bit of support there. I was even thinking about this all the way up onto Friday evening, which I don't usually need to do or necessarily enjoy, but I was enjoying this. I won't lie. And I settled on the team that YouTubers can see in front of them, and for those listening at home, kind of inspired by Quinner, last year's mini league winner. He was on the live chat and he was engaging. He suggested a Fabianski Ward comparison, and I think I actually scoffed at it on the show. I can't remember.
You did?
Yeah, and
I remember.
And then I was just sitting there on Friday night, and I went, if I want to feel flush and indulge in a 5.0 keeper who I'd really prefer if he was 4.5, considering the rest of the West Ham assets. Would I do it? And I did, and 7 points. But then, as we mentioned, Danny Ward sitting the bench with 8. So I was like, okay, the 1 week where it doesn't actually fucking even matter that I had him. But happy enough to pick up West Ham's clean sheet there. Trippier, as you mentioned, all the owners got lucky. James, I think that was an interesting discussion in terms of like, it's been kind of lackluster for the last couple of weeks, but Chelsea's upcoming fixtures are just so good that I'm more than happy to have it in there. And there's also just like a dearth of cheap midfielders that are doing the biz at the moment, which I'll get onto, because my midfield is Maddison. He came good last night.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, like, he saved the goddamn soul of the game a little bit, in the sense that there was like he was like that kind of like, oh, this is a decent shout, bit of a punt, going completely against either Salah or Haaland. And there was a Madison Cappers, Seamus was one of them, and there was a
Wow. Mind blowing.
yeah. Well, I was just kind of like going, do you know what? They didn't quite beat Salah or Haaland, but they'll feel fucking happy, and
Yeah, it was a game week saver.
the EO merchants can also hold their noses up high. It was a game week saver for some people. Yeah, I mean for me, like definitely kind of turns my rank into a nice healthy green. I kept Martinelli. That was a big decision we talked about last week. I wasn't sure, and he got an assist in.
Yeah, you got something.
Yeah, so I mean, Zaha blanking, but he's prepped in there for the next couple of weeks, and Mitrovic, Tony, and Haaland up front. I mean, like, is there much point talking about the likes of Haaland? Like, is he just broken again now?
Yeah, we were chatting kind of off air, and we were saying that there's a lot of people that aren't a fan of the actual captaincy option in the actual game. Yeah. So now the problem seems to be solved for them. Just keep your captain on Haaland. That's it.
I mean, it seems to be the way. Like, if he keeps at this insane kind of rate, then I don't think anyone would ever think different, would they?
No, they wouldn't. But in saying that, if you do look at like game week 10 and obviously 12, where he's not going to be in that, he takes himself out of it obviously in that game week, but there is going to be upcoming game weeks where you will have a little captaincy headache.
Do you think so?
If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean outside of game week 12, I don't know. I mean, what do you think of the Man City Liverpool match?
Well, I mean next week, for instance, game week 11, like it's Liverpool versus
game week 10
City. Like, are you going to captain Haaland there, or are you going to captain like Jesus? Are you going to captain like a Martial or I mean, I'm just shooting.
What have we jumped to game week 11?
Yeah, I've just jumped over there because we were just talking about like captaincy, like perma captain. I'm just making an example.
No, I was just wondering so I could put it on the screen. But game week 11, yes. That's what it kind of boils down to, what you think of Liverpool versus City, and do you stick with Haaland? Like, say Haaland just keeps doing what he's doing. I mean, it's Southampton in game week 10, and if
you're going to captain
for that, and say he just kind of gets even a fucking goal, just keeps his streak going. Liverpool, Man City, like, are you going to bet against them?
Well, they're away to Liverpool. I mean,
Liverpool just conceded 3 goals to Brighton.
I know, and they have defensive woes. But would you not be tempted to captain Kane against Everton?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, Everton have tightened up, and Spurs are on a bit of a rocky patch. I mean, I don't think they've played amazing this season, and I mean, FPL wise, like, assets are delivering. Harry Kane again, a goal this week, but Everton have seemingly tightened up. I don't know, maybe like on paper, if you were to write down things we've learned from game weeks, this is where you'd be right now.
Yeah, no, I know.
I mean, maybe game week 10, the likes of Spurs are against Brighton away, and and United are away to Everton. So I mean, like, they're kind of, that could throw it up. If Spurs went out and somehow smashed Brighton, everyone might be thinking, well, we gotta have them against Everton,
Yeah, well, I guess, I mean, it'll be held when it comes to the Liverpool game. Well, I guess we'll speak about that in the next pod. But at the moment, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, you're thinking ahead to game week 11, and I get it, because like at the moment, like everything is got that game week 12 blank in mind. Like it's one of those weeks where like we've all invested in 2 teams that are doing really well, and those who have wildcarded around this stage, like myself and any game week 8 wildcarders, anyone that's wildcarding this week, they're going to have that in mind, and you can kind of preen off some of the assets. But I mean, Man City at Southampton, like, you're going to want City covered there, and then you really only have one free transfer in game week 11. So everything we're kind of talking about going forward is based on what you're going to do for game week 12.
Yeah, it basically, like, we will touch on it again next week, but basically this episode is nearly trying to cover it's trying to cover right up to game week 12 a little bit, because I mean, everything you do for game week 10, has to have game week 12 in mind as well, sort of, because that is a blank game week, and there's not going to be any City, and there's not going to be any Arsenal.
Yeah, and then the week before you've got fucking Liverpool versus City, which kind of throws it
Yeah,
over.
so Yeah, that's exactly it.
And the good managers, they've been doing this for weeks, and they've probably done
Yeah.
specific episodes on it. But don't worry, not here.
No,
We'll
we're
wing
well
it.
prepared as well, Jer. We're well prepared as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're both happy with how the season has gone so far.
Me and my boy, same
So
points.
yeah, same boy. There should be some FPL term for that, like, do you know the way Eskimo
Yeah.
brothers, like two lads who have slept with the same woman, or you know.
Yeah, we need to get on that and think of something like.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, there's a whole market there for an FPL dictionary. I'm telling you. You
Yeah,
know, if people can
there
sell
is.
notebooks, you know, because they're perfect little
Coloring
birthday
books.
coloring book. There's not an FPL coloring book.
There is. You can color in all the little fucking
Oh
jerseys.
yes, yes, yes. Sorry, I was saying notebook, but yeah, I get you. But everything's a coloring book. If it's
It's a notebook coloring book.
yeah, no, I appreciate it, but I'm saying like there's a market there. FPL dictionary. I mean, there
Yeah.
definitely is a Twitter avatar with that.
We could
So.
put the dick in dictionary. We should launch it.
We put the dick in dictionary. Yeah, there we go. We've got the t-shirts made
That's it.
already.
That's
We're gonna
it.
have to cut this
Exactly.
podcast short and just
Yeah,
start
yeah.
working on this straight away. Brainstorming.
Yeah. Fuck.
Patent
podcast.
pending.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Talking points from game week 9. Like we spoke about the obvious ones in City and Liverpool. Tree. Worried about Salah? You have Salah? You don't have Salah.
I don't have Salah. Do you have
I
Salah?
do. I guess that's.
Yeah, you. Well, that would have been. You were on the wild card. You would have kept him.
Well,
And
I
we
didn't
actually
take my
spoke
brought
about
him in. I got KDB out for him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You would have brought him in. Sorry.
Well, the question is now, like I mentioned it that I was going to do the hokey cokey, but like Salah, you know, pretty measly return against Brighton. Now, from what I saw in the highlights, it could have been a different story. He could have got another attack return. All of a sudden, it's not looking so poor. But Liverpool, they are looking kind of worrying. And then with, as we said, City in game week 11 and I would say a defensive, like an improving West Ham in game week 12 if memory serves me correct. I wonder, do I stay on Salah? Like if you
that's a good one. I mean, like you have Salah now in your team, and they've got Arsenal, City, blank next. Is it? No, Arsenal, City next.
Yeah, Arsenal away, City, and then as I said, home against West Ham. But you know, I mean, like that's the thing. I guess. I don't know. I feel like the hokey cokey is on, and a lot of it will depend on the likes of the Mitro and the Tony injuries, and if people have those kind of fires go out. I suppose people who don't have a Madison, or maybe the likes of a Jared Bowen, they could be distracted. But I mean, that again, you're going to be looking at your City assets, and if you've got a Foden or a KDB on top of your Haaland, and probably Cancelo, what do you like? Are you going to stick with KDB? I mean, that makes your decision up, doesn't it? Like, what are you going to do with KDB?
Well, my plan is I was always kind of planning to keep KDB up until game week 12, and it was just going to be the straight swap, KDB to Salah.
Yeah.
For the blank.
Is that still on?
That might be still on, but
yeah, I get you. Just kind of take the.
Like that's a couple of weeks away, but that's the A plan. You know, to put De Bruyne to Salah for that week.
And then would you keep him going forward, or would you just see how the week works out? Take week by week.
I'll probably see how it goes out, and I'd probably depend on how that match goes. That's a hard one to answer, to be really honest. I mean, all I know at the minute is, at the back of my head, that blank, I'm probably doing Salah, and if I have to hokey cokey, I will.
Yeah, that's actually. I think it's on. I think it's totally on.
But yeah, that would be the move. But leading up to that, I'm definitely happy that I don't have any Liverpool assets, not to bring the hammer down on you there, Ger. Like, I mean, anyone who's been the wildcard, there's going to be a lot of people in your position. What are your plans with Salah now going in this next 2 game weeks? Like, you just have to stick with them, yeah?
No, I don't think so. No, I think like I'm completely easy with jumping off him for the next 2, and then if I want to come back onto game week 12, I was one of the poor plebs who transferred Salah in on the Friday night. and lost at 0.1 when he dropped on the Saturday morning, which I
Oh
did
shit.
look at the price things, and I didn't think he was going to drop.
They're unpredictable. Even the modules are finding it hard to predict. You just get a kind of
So
a.
I should keep an eye on it this week, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like realistically just going to watch the City lineup, see who gets minutes, who's likely to play against
That's
Southampton,
right.
and take that, because
And the Champions League as well.
that's what I'm saying, the Champions League this week,
Yeah.
So like, see how that goes, and if we'll say KDB gets a nice rest, and I'm pretty sure he's going to start Southampton match, yeah, I'll get him in, you know.
I would love for Southampton match to have Haaland, KDB, and Foden.
Instead of
If
Cancelo,
you,
you think the
yeah,
two mids?
I think the three attacking players now feel really dirty.
What do you mean? Just because Mitro and I mean, like, I don't know. I think there's lots of attacking options there. I think the likes.
Are we still worried? Are we still like going to be really fearful of Pep Roulette if you had those three though?
I just don't. I just think they're both pretty much gonna start. Like Haaland and the KDB are pretty much as nailed as you could really be.
Yeah.
And then Foden will miss one, but I don't know if there's a string of them. Do you know, like, that he'll miss? I think you just gotta accept that. Like, hopefully it's kind of a 1 out of 4, and it's not like a 1 out of fucking 3 or something like that. You know.
Foden seems to be the preferred guy anyway. Out of the kind of the ones that he could rotate him with, he seems to be.
Well, Foden's on top. Like, he's getting
Yeah.
back to where he should be in, a hat trick in the derby.
Yeah.
I know FPL Fairy, a regular listener to the show, he had Foden and KDB.
Wow.
2 hat tricks in one game. I don't think I've ever had that.
Jeez,
There's
he would
another
have
word
a few-
for the dictionary. When you get 2
Yeah.
hat tricks in one game from a player,
What would you call that?
Spit roasting. I don't know.
Yeah, he would have had a few giggly waters after that anyway.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Foden I think is a great option. But again, if
Right,
for me
straight-
it would be only in kind of terms of a hokey cokey, or if you
Right,
already had
straight up.
What?
Haaland, Foden, De Bruyne, or Haaland, De Bruyne, Cancelo.
I think Haaland, Foden, Cancelo is also an option as well, but I would be just like Haaland, Cancelo for me. I always like having defensive kind of City,
Okay.
and then just kind of flip between the Man City midfield, which I usually do. But I mean, look, that's a problem that everyone's kind of facing. I think there's also that third option of having no Salah or KDB or Son, and just going with like Kane up top. Because we've talked about the likes of Bowen and Madison kind of smashing it this week, and when you look at their fixtures, like, they are ridiculous. Like, just call out Leicester's fixtures, Paddy. Away to Bournemouth, home to Crystal Palace, at home to Leeds, and away to Wolves before their Man City match in game week 14. And then West Ham, home to Fulham, away to Southampton, Liverpool in the middle, but then Bournemouth in game week. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, you don't mind having those midfield assets, and that does allow you to bump up to like the likes of a Kane, who I know lots of people, his ownership is kind of getting up there, but he's tipping away. Like, even the Spurs aren't.
Well, like, he's only had one blank or one match since the beginning of the season where he hasn't had FPL points.
Is that true?
And that was game week 1. He's tipped away every week. He's like a bit of a Jimenez, a couple of years back.
The postman,
he's just,
or a Harry Kane a couple of years back.
He always delivers. But anyway, like, he's
he has, just to correct you, Paddy. Sorry, I have it up here in front of me. He is only blanked twice. Game week 1, you were spot on, and oh no, my apologies. Sorry, I didn't see he had an assist in game week 5. No, you were bang on. My apologies. Yeah, game week 1, blank.
That's
You're
okay.
right. Sorry, Paddy. I've made a fool of myself live
It's
now.
alright. That's fine. It's fine. I'm happy that you made a fool of yourself. But yeah,
And
that's
cut.
what I'm saying. Yeah, snip that out. But that'd be another option to get Kane in there as well. It's just trying to get all these moves jinked together. But just going back there to your previous point, or we're chatting about like Bowen and Madison, like, it's called, it is playing the fixtures, and look how well it came out for the people that brought Madison and Bowen in this week or last week.
Is.
And the fixtures are there to be played for those two players.
No, you're 100% right. There's another option that has been lumped in with those, same kind of mid-price bracket. You might know him as Willie, Paddy, but we know him as I know you're on first-time basis with him, but
Yes.
Yeah, no, Wilfred Zaha, another kind of mid-priced asset.
Willie Zaha.
He's got over that Chelsea match, so I expect things to hopefully improve a little bit. Leeds, Leicester, Wolves, Everton, Southampton, all the way up into.
How much is Zaha these days?
How much is that?
How much is it for a Willie?
You get a Willie for 7.3 million.
That is not bad. That's not bad at all.
No, it isn't. That's what I'm saying. I picked him up in the wild card. I'm not in.
That's a cheap Willie.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I haven't priced him.
I think it is. I mean, like, it's a lot easier to get to Zaha than it is to Bowen or it is to Madison.
Yeah.
If you were struggling.
That's what I mean. Like, coming down to these midfield options at the moment, even as you said, Foden as well. Like, we've listed out a load of midfielders under 8.5 million that at the moment I feel would match the levels of Salah's and Son's, and I mean KDB's is kind of. I could match him. Like, that's the problem. Is like, you're kind of hoping that this form stays up for the likes of Maddison and Bowen, because it is. Yeah. Maddison's been tipping away, but Leicester have been shocking. So hopefully, that's the start of an uptake. And Bowen has said that this was his first returns this season, I believe. So, what did you think of the assist? Like, what the fuck was that?
It was one of the worst assists I've ever seen in my life, but it's the rules, and I'll take it. Bullshit.
The rules then would suggest that you determine that to be a shot, and if that's the case, then they need a slap in the back of the head, because there's not a hope you could say that was a shot.
Who are we to argue with the people that know best? Look,
I was pretty angry at that.
The Bowen assist.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'll go down in history, but it'll also the controversy that will go down too. I mean, I've seen enough assists, like proper assists, completely wiped out based on some bullshit rule of like, oh, maybe it wasn't the intended target. I don't fucking know, but this thing.
Well, I was extremely happy.
You would be. You've no honor, Paddy. Yeah. No honor.
No honor. There's no honor among thieves. Ger. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair point. Any other talking points left on Game Week 9 before we get on to this week's mini league, Patrick?
I'm trying to have a look here. Have we got any Metro replacements in our minds?
Do we need to replace them? Is that not a wait and see?
I don't even know. He's probably going to be okay. Just one thing before we move on. Would you move Martinelli to Zaha?
No. I mean, not for me.
No.
I think not for me. I think I've stuck with him now, and he stays. He'll be on my bench in Game Week 12. I think like the price.
Oh, bench.
Yeah, well, he's got a blank.
Oh, sorry, you jumped up to 12. I was thinking, you're going to bench me against Liverpool.
Oh, no. You play him against Trent Alexander-Arnold. You play everyone against him right now. I think I think if you got in on him at like the basement value at 6 million, then it feels like a hold. That was my logic last week, and he. Yeah,
we did speak about it. We actually, I'm being very hypocritical because I was very pro Martinelli with you last on the episode 150.
Yeah, well, I think I was actually anti Martinelli. I think it was you and
Seamus. We had a good debate. So, will I move into the mini league then?
Yeah. How about you introduce it? You say, "Welcome to the FPL Hangover mini league," or something like that.
Okay, here we go. Music, and then 1, 2. Welcome to the FPL Hangover mini league.
Oh, that's perfect. I'll throw an effect on that, and do an effect. And anyone listening to it will have already heard the effect, because that's how
where you could win. What could you win?
Absolutely.
Really cool drinks flask.
Yeah, actually, I forgot. No, you could win that. So, with that in mind, tell us who is currently on the Iron Throne.
The Iron Throne, I love it. So we've got a new leader up from third. Email Seidlach. Sorry for brought you your name.
I think you made a really good effort at that, no matter what happens.
I did. I put a bit of love into that. So first place, and we've got Gavin O'Reilly in second up as well. We've got Eddie Friel in fourth. We've got Ara Nugraha in fifth, Scott Kent in sixth, Paul O'Gorman in seventh, Cameron North in eighth, Atari Bassari in ninth, Danny Watkins in 10th, Kel Byrne, FPL Crypto in 11th, and Brian Says in 12th.
I don't know why, but like I don't know where you get your fucking information, but it is not what is on the official Premier League page.
What's going on?
You basically won out on every single one of them, but I assume that's an error because you had them in the right order, but you were saying the number wrong. So,
Yeah, do you know what? I fucking.
I think you just skipped a number at one stage.
No, I'll tell you the truth, right? I realized I skipped the number, and I was like, oh fuck, I'll just keep going.
You'll fix this in post. You'll fix this in post.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, just everyone only a number up back.
Yeah. But yeah, what other stats have you got for us, Paddy?
All right. Okay. So the highest riser in the league, up 63 places, and that is Eric Brasspenning, who now sits in 55th place. But also Scott Kent, who rose 52 places and now sits in 5th. So great work there.
Fuck me.
The biggest drops in the league, Alan Jennings, who has dropped 91 places.
Just to
91.
Just to pause you there, Paddy. I'm sorry to cut across you, but I did happen to just pull up Scott Kent's team this week. 127 points.
Oh my god.
He captained Madison, so he's lost a few points on Haaland there, but he had Bowen and Trossard and Haaland and Kane and his
holy shit,
and War coming good. 127 points. So no wonder why he jumped up so much. That's some great. There's some insane scores going around.
There is some insane scores. That's well done, Scott Kent. So also just on the biggest drops, friend of the show and all-time listener Richard Evison, FPL Dad, dropped 60 places. Yeah. And he now sits in 77. We will now speak about the manager of the week, and that manager of the week is Scott Kent. Well done.
Just did it. Yeah. I totally blew your spot, Paddy. I didn't realise.
No, I knew you did it, but I was like, I didn't mean to say we will talk about it. 127 points, and we already know how that went. Well done, Scott Kent.
This has been a total disaster.
That's the worst ever league updates. Anyway, special mentions. He's
only had one can, and I'm on alcohol-free beer tonight. Do you know what I mean? Jesus Christ, we wouldn't do this.
But I'm on fucking loads of drugs.
Oh yes, because you're sick.
Yeah. So Eric Brasspenning got 118 points.
Okay.
Cahill Byrne got 113 points. Kush Mukareji got 113 points, and Eddie Friel got 111 points. So well done to those. We've got a couple of more bits just to look at here now, and we want to talk about the bench wankers. Okay. So 18 points on the bench, Ger, and that goes to Adam O'Toole.
Does their points stay on the bench?
These are the solidly on the bench, not coming off.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so Adam feels like O'Toole, 18 points on the bench. Thancer PN, 17 points. TL, 16 points, and Eamon Donahoe, 15 points. Now, my favourite part. The transfer genius. Oh my god, we've 1, 2, 3. We have 4 transfer geniuses, and it's a simple one, really. Can you give it to me, Jared?
What's the transfer genius?
18 point. What the fuck do you mean?
I can't remember.
The best transfer, your transfer of the week. You know, who transfer? What they got the most points for the transfer?
To bring someone in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jesus, like it probably would have to be the likes of a Trossard. You know, why wouldn't he was offering value, wasn't he?
Well, I'll tell you what, Eddie Friel, Harry Jones, Heather Tarusi, and Mario Greco all done the same thing. And it was Kuleski out, Madison in.
Yeah.
18 points, simple. I want to give special mentions to Trevor Gordon. 17 points for his transfer. He done Rashford to Madison, and Jack Gwynn, Rashford. Everyone who done fucking brought Madison in.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think probably be a bit too clever about that, you know, or overcomplicated. But yeah, Madison was the obvious, the one that people were kind of shifting towards. I mean, a lovely fixture at home to Forest, and
it was a nice. I wish I had I couldn't bring him in. I was happy enough for me score. Right. Okay. So transfer nightmare, and this is
transfer out, is it?
Yeah, this is the worst possible outcome.
Well, I definitely would say Trossard for this then.
Okay then. So Bernard O'Shea, I wonder is he Irish?
I don't know.
Anyway, Bernard O'Shea, 3 transfers made. A -8 taken.
Okay.
Out went Doherty to Neco Williams. Paqueta to Zaha.
Okay.
And Jesus to Mitrovic.
Oh, that's not. That's completely understandable.
A net loss of 19 points, though.
How did he lose so much?
Well, he had a -8. And then
yes, including the -8.
Neco Williams, Doherty probably got 0, and Neco Williams got like a -1, probably. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, they were pretty mad transfers, I suppose. I mean, the Jesus to Mitra one, I kind of get. I mean, like, he's probably, you're moving towards, as we said, like earlier, that game week 12. I got Jesus out this week in the wildcard for Tony. So, I mean, I can't judge that.
Yeah, it all adds up. And you were right, the second one was Trossard to Zaha.
Yeah.
-1 transfer, 18 points, flushed down the shitter. And we'll do one more because it's my mate, Brian Margie, and he listens to the pod every week. And when we don't have the pod out, he's messaging, where the fuck's the pod?
Yeah.
Like, so Brian
you,
had two transfers, -4, and he done Almiron to Bailey, and he done Walker to James. And like Almiron, like, you could have him in your team for weeks and he'd do nothing. And he scored 2 goals. Did he score 2 goals or a goal and assist this week?
I think it was 2 goals, yeah. I think
so
yeah, great first goal. Did you not see
crazy.
the first
one? No, I never seen it.
Look up his first goal.
I will.
Yeah.
A net loss of 16 points there to Brian. Brian just can't catch a break this. He had Salah captain as well this week, so
it's been look, the red arrow comes ticking fast, isn't that what you always say, Paddy?
That's it. That is it. Ticking fast and hard.
So that's it for the mini league. Okay, good hustle, kid. Anyone that is interested, we're going to leave it open, I think, for the month of October. So along with Halloween, we'll just go 31st of October. Mini league is going to stay open until then, and then we can close it off. PK3DFT, that's the code if you've any interest. PK3DFT. And if you've listened this long and listened to Paddy call out all those amazing people, then I'm going to assume you do have enough bloody interest to enter the league and subscribe and all the usual jazz. So before we start heading towards the finish line, Paddy, going forward, game week 10. Briefly, captain. I mean, I guess it's almost a redundant question, but captain.
Okay, the captaincy is on Haaland.
Yeah, fair enough.
At the moment.
And you're going to keep an eye on Mitrovic, basically.
I'm going to keep an eye on Mitrovic, and I mean, I don't know, even if he's not fit, I might even just roll the transfer and play fucking Emerson.
What about Perisic? Are you happy to just stick there?
I don't. If he's starting to feel like a wild card mistake or something.
Did you bring him in on the wild card?
I did indeed. Yes, I brought him in. I was like,
yeah. Well, I mean, like, there's, I guess, a decent enough fixture this week. I don't think there's much to worry about, and obviously there's no immediate thing, but there's money, I suppose, there if you were looking to free up at 1.5 or something like that, drop him down to your 4.3s, 4.4s. You'll save at least what, $1 million.
Like, all the more reason for me maybe to bank the transfer this week.
That's what I'm saying.
And have 2 going into 12. Yeah. Like, I think honestly, no matter what happens, I'll be banking the transfer. I think 2 transfers will be a lot more valuable to me. Yeah. Going into the next couple of weeks.
I think you're spot on. It allows you to kind of make more of a plan as well. I think. Anthony Gordon, he's on your bench. He didn't start this week, and one to monitor, I reckon. I mean, I know he's only 5.6.
Another one that feels like kind of a little fire now. But if I can get past game week 12, or even game week 12, he'll be playing. Everton do have a nice run of fixtures, so I mean, you could argue that they're not great, but I mean they're.
Well, I just wouldn't be worried again. Like
I'm not worried having him. Yeah.
Yeah, I just mean, like, the fact that he didn't start, I think is of note, because he had started every other game that Everton had played this year, and I'm wondering, what the reason behind that is, but I'm sure there's more Everton interested FPLers out there that could help you. Home to Man United, away to Spurs. Yeah, I get you. I suppose you have that away fixture in game week 12. But look, these are all. I don't think these are major fires or anything. I think the big thing to watch, and same as myself this week, and I'm sure a lot of others, is Dimitrovic yellow flag. How long does he get ruled out for? Because that you can make plays for this kind of game week 12 a little bit, and you're going to be thinking about it, and that can swing things a little bit on formations and stuff. So keep an eye out on that. But I think that's game week 12. I'm the same as you, Captain Haaland. Worry about minutes that Manchester City play midweek, and then tick on through into game week 11, and then that's a real headache in terms of the captaincy. But I guess we'll talk about that a bit more next week. Before we wrap things up, Paddy, we have something that you seem to be quite adept at lately, and
bring up the scores.
That's the puck fadas, long shots, punts, whatever you want to call it. You have been dominating, and no change this week. You said Aubameyang was going to score.
Yeah.
And
I think he's laughed at me.
We did laugh. We said he's never played a Premier League match for Chelsea.
Yeah, and I said, not yet.
Yeah, and then boom. Fucking goal. Peach of a goal as well. But that was just a puck fight. I don't think... You're not suddenly going to go turn Mitrovic into Aubameyang somehow, are you?
No. It is the puck fada for a reason.
Fair enough. Seamus did Vardy, and I did Sablanke. And see what I did there? Boom, Blanke.
Very
Patent
good.
pending.
Sablanke.
Yeah, Sablanke, yeah. I haven't seen that floating around. Like, it definitely is floating around, but I mean, there should be so much more made of that. I mean, you could...
Yeah, 100%.
You could sell t-shirts, FPL... Or not t-shirts, but blankets. FPL blankets. Imagine that, so blankets. And
we're on a roll.
Man, we're gonna have to dissect this show later on.
Wrap this up quick so we can get it and make these t-shirts.
But yeah, absolutely nothing from him, and is Vardy blanking in that Leicester match.
Vardy's finished.
You think so? You done? You're not just using your emotions here, Paddy?
No, I don't believe he's an FPL asset anymore.
I don't know. I mean, he didn't get any attack returns last night, but he could have been on the end of a few.
Yeah, well, Rogers said that he's not. He's going to be a 60-minute man anymore. Yeah, Rogers basically said that he's, which maybe doesn't really make Daka that much more appealing either. If he's going to be taken off, they're going to be sharing the minutes now.
So we've got Madison. We don't need to worry about it. I mean, you don't.
You're right. You're right. I don't, but I will. Someday soon.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to. Yeah, I mean, you've got Bowen there. Sometimes, your fate has already potentially been chosen, Paddy.
Yeah.
But puck fadas this week, Patrick. Game week 10, less than 5% owned.
Oh, I'm going with Gundogan.
Returning to that well, are you?
Owned. Yeah.
You've no respect. No respect for the game.
He done me the last time, didn't he? He got me.
Well, he must be, because...
Do you have the record of our puck fadas there?
I have it not in front of me, but it is...
You will next week,
I will next week. Of course. I always come prepared. I have scattered... You should see my desk. It's insane. But... Yeah.
It's organised, man.
Organised chaos. So I will have the full scores for you next week, Paddy, now that you've demanded it live on air and shanghaied me into agreeing to it. But we do know you're winning, as I said, because every week you won't shut up about it.
Yeah, but I just want to know by how much.
Very much.
I want to really feel it.
Well, I really hope fucking Gundogan doesn't start there. How would you like them apples? No.
Yeah, that could happen.
Seamus isn't here this week, but he has sent in his pick.
Oh, he has.
Well, has he actually sent in his pick?
Oh, I thought you said he has.
I was lying. I was just.
Okay.
I was lying. I didn't realize. I thought you actually looked at the chat then. I went, oh well, he did. That's blowing right up in my face. But we're going to pick for him. We're going to. Yeah. We know there's only one player he's been looking at this week, and that's Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, he's all over.
He's all over Welbeck. I think we offered him a fair shout. He's got a Brighton home match. Did Welbeck even play in the last match? He did. He got an assist. So there you go.
Yeah, he got an assist. Yeah,
played 90 minutes. There we go. So look.
I think he should have had a goal too.
Fair enough. I mean,
maybe we should pick someone else.
Yeah, maybe we haven't thought about this hard enough, and we leave it as it is. I think that'll be the default pick for Seamus this year. Will be Danny Welbeck, regardless of the fixture, and Welby boy, and so that's his pick, and then I'm going with Scamacca. I think West Ham have a decent home match against Fulham. They'll be looking to move on and continue on from their last match. So I'm maybe hoping Bowen again just gets randomly an award and assist, and Scamacca sticks one in with the help of a deflection. So yeah, I'm going Scamacca. I think there's goals in that match. As a non-Bowen owner, I'm going to be hiding behind the couch a little bit, because I mean, Fulham did just concede.
Does Bowen strike a bit of fear into you going into that game? Yeah,
I just think he's always capable of pulling out. I mean, we saw at the end of the whole of last season, really. Like, he was always capable of doing what he did last week. And I mean, I didn't see the Fulham. See, that's the big thing. I didn't see the Fulham match, so I'm not sure how much the red card really changed it. But I'm just going to base it off conceding 4 goals to Newcastle.
Well, he had 4 attempts in the box. So we did in the last match.
Jared Bowen.
But also.
But we the level of attempts, like, we see the standard they measure them at. You can randomly put your toe on something and it'll be called an attempt.
That's true. Yeah. Well, Foden had 6 attempts and 5 of those were in the box.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's I think Scamacca. I think is going to hopefully fucking continue. On that, he got a bit of form. Like, he's going to start, I'm assuming. Again, Europa League. I probably should have thought about this a bit more.
No, but I mean, look, before, like, definitely the players annoyed that, like, if you had a watch list, the 3 players that are, like, it's Zaha, Maddison, and Bowen for these fixtures. Would that be correct in saying?
Yeah, for me.
Would you would try and squeeze one of those in at least?
I think there's a case to be made to jump down to get rid of the premium mid, and maybe that's a mistake on the wildcard, or something I should have maybe considered, is that, like, the premium striker with the likes of Harry Kane is maybe a safer option for the next couple of weeks. But we'll see. We could all be on just KDB next week if he absolutely fucking is nailed on, and that Southampton match could be a whooping.
Yeah, wow.
So Captain Holland's from us, and that's
we're kind of being a bit safe with the transfers, because I mean there's some big hurdles coming up, so it's nice to be prepared. And I think if you can hold on to your transfer this week, I think definitely do so. No, I do. I mean, like, it is going to make Game Week 12 a little bit easier to navigate, but you said play your own game, Paddy, so you're not allowed to give that advice. Well, don't be copying me. Copying us.
What?
Copy Raptor.
Why not? He's having an amazing season. So
he's in 500 and something place, 564th in the world.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I mean, like,
along with 600 other people.
Yeah, but only 600 out of like 10.5 million now, which is.
So if they weren't copying him, like, would that mean he'd be like 64th?
Oh yes, I see what you did there. I don't know, Paddy. I don't know. I don't think that's how it works. But where can everyone follow your FPL journey?
FPL Viking _ on Twitter. And I've just passed 9,000 followers now on Twitter. So, I mean, like, see, when I get to 10,000, I'm going to fucking, I don't know, I'm just going to destroy the world. That's where it goes. In what way?
I don't know. In a doomsday style?
Yeah, I'm just going to, like...
When the clock strikes 12.
Yeah, I'm not going to be.
Well, I'm with you. It's a scathing indictment of society if you're hitting 10,000 followers.
Yeah, I'm going to tweet some real mad, nasty shit.
Oh yeah, shock horror for you.
Yeah, horrible.
I'm just going to blow up my Twitter account. But congratulations on the 9K. I mean, God knows you deserve it, man. You are an absolute servant to the FPL world.
Thank you very much.
And where can they find us? Test it.
They can find us at the FPL Hangover on Twitter. Is the FPL Hangover podcast?
I think it's just at FPL Hangover.
At FPL Hangover on Twitter. And you can get us on all streaming where you listen to your usual podcasts. I'm not going to name them all. You guys know where they are. Apple, Spotify, 2 main ones.
Continues to main.
And if you're weird, you can get them elsewhere. And Ger, where? I mean, anything else?
Well, yeah, you didn't plug the email address. You didn't.
Oh yeah, who the fuck use email? But
Our
I mean,
business associates.
the most important one. Give us a review on the podcast, Apple Podcasts, because it helps get us out there. Just 5 stars. I'm going to be actually looking at the reviews, and the best review. We'll call the reviews out in the show.
Oh,
Anymore.
you have bit off more than you can chew there.
We'll read the reviews out.
We're gonna have to start writing them.
Obviously, the 5-star, only the 5-star ones.
Yeah, perfect. No, it's a good shout. Yeah, do. And so the mini league is there again. Anyone that is looking to get in PK3 DFT. That's about it from us. Paddy, enjoy game week 10. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me.
No problemo. And to the rest of you, God bless.